Hello, Alex and Steve. Remember 40 years ago, or at least 4 months ago, when you issued a challenge for us to create something that we felt represented where we live? And for many, many reasons that you'll actually see a little bit of, I've been very, very late getting to your challenge, but I finally accomplished it. And what I've come up with is this casserole dish potluck carrier tray thing. Anyway, what it does is it holds a casserole dish or a cake pan with a lid, and as you can see, it's got many different pieces of wood in it, and it's very colorful, and horseshoes and a brand. And this all represents where I live, which is Townsend, Montana. Here we have a lot of barnwood, a lot of horses, a lot of cattle, and a lot of very interesting wood. And all of this comes together to represent my hometown of Townsend, Montana, which I love very much. But anyway, what I have here is, I'll explain a little bit later, but I've made a box out of barnwood. And this barnwood I salvaged, this particular barnwood I salvaged from the neighbor's barn that they were no longer using, and I was able to go and take this down, and then was able to create this Christmas present for my mother. And so actually I wanted to talk a little bit about the brand that we have. This is LX Bar brand, and this brand is for cattle and horses. It's for the right rib on cows and the right shoulder on horses. And this brand, my mother's maiden name is Lee, and this brand came from Idaho, and my parents got it from my grandfather, George Lee. And so it's something that's very special to our family, is to be able to have that brand in our family and remain in our family. And so, that being said, let's get on with the video. Okay. Another reason that I've been late getting this into your challenge is I've been working on the farm, taking care of things here, and helping with the pigs, like this little guy. Huh. You say hi? The thing that I find so neat about this wood, it's so hard for you to tell on this camera, but as you can see right there, there's a 1/16 to an 1/8 inch little divot right there, and you can see that there was a board that was nailed here, and the rest was exposed to the sun and the wind and all of the elements, and it has worn down. And I'll tell you, that really shows up nicely with a nice coat of with a nice clear coat. Right, well, now we have all the pieces dry fitted together, and there's a little bit of slack, but I think that my mom would appreciate that. It's really easy to come in and out, and it's ready for a little bit of glue and some nails, and we'll get started on that right now. Okay, got it all glued. We're going to use horseshoe nails around the outside, and the handles will actually will come from my local used horseshoe hardware store here. Those are pretty close. We'll go up and pull the horseshoe nails out and shine them up a little bit.
Oh, next time we get a tray.
Yeah. It takes just some of the rust off, and then it accepts a clear coat a lot nicer. I'm going to lay out the nail holes and just pre-drill them so I don't split this old barn wood.
Okay.
And what I do to find the center, I just go, see the overall width is 11.5 or so, and I've never been very good at math, as Mr. Arnsmeyer and Mr. Flynn can attest. And so what I do, the easy way to find the center is to go and line up the edges on an easily divisible number. See, I'm choosing 12 here. And so then you just come here and mark your 6, and that's halfway. And then you can take a square, find your halfway spot here, and lay out from either side. Now what I've done, fit this in here, and you can stick 3 nails in there and then continue on with my other system. This will be the handle. Alright, well that's drying up. I've got most of my nails in, as you can see, but I'm going to let it keep drying, and I'm going to put some pieces in the bottom, some real thin strips that actually came from the trees in our windbreak, and some more of our fence posts like I used in that previous video for the wood turning challenge. Alright, so here I have some real thin strips of various wood. These pieces here are ash from our windbreak. At least I'm pretty sure they're ash. Somebody that knows a little more about species of wood might call me out on that, but that's fine. And then here's some old pieces of juniper fence post that I've salvaged. All these strips come from when I'm cutting down to dimensional lumber. A lot of times those posts take up I have to go through the table saw several times to get it down to a rough shape that I can run through the joiner and the planer. Okay, so now I've got my case pretty much finished out, and now I've set up these stencils for tracing out these letters to spell out "God bless this ranch," and then here in the center I'm going to have our brand. All you're trying to do is just take the weather off of it. Take the sun and the wind and the elements off of that old barnwood. Okay, we've come up to the machine shop and I'm going to make myself a running iron, which is actually illegal, but since I'm not branding a critter, I think it'll be alright. So I got my cutting torch and I put my rosebud tip on it. And I'm going to heat it up and get ready to brand. And there's our brand, LX Bar. Okay, as you can see, I put some runners on it in the bottom there, and it's
some of this wood that my mom found. It's got some really cool worm tracks in it, and she couldn't bear to burn it, so she brought it down here. Wanted me to do something with it. So I got that clamped up, and that's all done drying. And next I'll just finish it and it'll be ready. And this is Helmsman spar urethane. It's a good all-around sealant. And it'll be real easy for her to pull anything, clean anything off of it if it spills or the casserole dish boils over or something. But it also darkens up that, makes a nice contrast on the letters that I've carved out. Alright, there it is, all finished out. I like the super gloss that oil finish gives. I just wish that it didn't darken the barnwood so much. But that fits down in there nicely. So Mom will have something to take to potlucks and bring over to our house full of brownies and stuff. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this little project that I have, and I will see you around.